Hello my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today I'm going to be talking about Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor, and this is book 2 in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. So, because this is the second in a series, there's not really a whole lot I can say without giving spoilers, but I will say I did enjoy this book a whole lot. Not as much as the first one. I have to say so far I like the first one the best, but, you know, I greatly enjoyed this one as well. I can't quite put my finger on why that is. It may be because we get quite a few more points of view in this book. Some of them are permanent fixtures, like, you know, we got Karu, we got Avika, we get some Zuana as well. And, you know, a few more, like, minor characters for a chapter here and there. I don't know if it was just getting all those random chapters from more minor characters that just kind of set me off. Like, at the time of reading them, I was just kind of like, okay, I like seeing, like, what's going on outside of our main guy's points of views. But is this really necessary? And yeah, they did make more sense as the story went on, but I don't know if just reading them at the time kind of threw me off or not. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with that. And really, that's the biggest complaint I can name off the top of my head, and it's not really a complaint, I don't think. So yeah, that's really all I can say without delving into spoilers. So, if you have not read Days of Blood and Starlight, and are planning to, I highly suggest you click away now and come back after you catch up. So, where to begin with this? I went through quite a few feels while reading this book. We didn't start to see anything from Karu's point of view until a few chapters in, and the way that everyone's reacting, all I can think is, oh my god, she can't be dead. No, this cannot be a thing. Thankfully, it was not. But I felt so much happen in this book. Like, Karu, she ran into Thiago and the remaining survivors of the Chimera from, you know, the big city of theirs. And she is in shock seeing that the city was just completely annihilated. And, you know, he manages to piece together who Karu is. And, you know, you'd think at first he'd be very pissed off considering, you know, what she did in her Chimera life. Falling in love with an angel and being with him instead of almighty Thiago. So, yeah. Instead, he comes off as kind of happy to see her, even if it's because she's useful. You know, between her life as Karu and her life as a Chimera, and I'm sorry, I don't even want to try touching Karu's Chimera, like, life name, because I know I'm gonna butcher it. Between her two lives, she knows how Brimstone resurrected other Chimera who fell in battle. So, you know, now that Brimstone is dead, she is extremely useful to the Chimera cause. Because the angels, as far as I know, only Brimstone knew how to resurrect Chimera. So now that they have killed him, they think that they are basically going to win the war now, because the Chimera numbers are not going to be able to replenish themselves. But they don't know that Brimstone had kind of taught another. So yeah, Karu is pretty important to the Chimera, though many of them despise her guts because she's an angel lover. So yeah, they don't really trust her. And she's pretty isolated for a long time, and I felt so bad for her. Because she's trying so damn hard to make up for her mistake as a Chimera and help her people. And she's completely alone. And no, I don't count Thiago's company as anything, because he is a scumbag. Like, from the get-go, I'm just like, I don't like you. I really don't like you. I knew something was up from the get-go, because even in the situation, I don't think he would be this civil to her. This, you know, considering where their not-so relationship went. And just based on what we know of Thiago from the last book, he doesn't seem the type of guy to forgive and forget. And most of the book, Avika thought that Karu was dead because he found, like, one of the soul container things that the Chimera use, and Karu was written on paper, like, next to it, so he was terrified that that was her soul. And also, throughout most of the book, I was swearing that Brimstone wasn't dead. Since I started to be such an avid reader, I have a strict policy that unless you see a body or actually read them dying, they're not dead. I need strict proof in order to believe someone is dead. And, based on what is going on, all Kara knows is what she is told. So I was pretty sad when it was confirmed that Brimstone is in fact dead. He was killed, and his body was left to rot, and no one was around to glean his soul. Part of me is still kind of possibly holding on to that hope, because, it's not totally out of the realm of possibility, though it is extremely unlikely. So part of me is kind of holding on to that tiny bit of hope. And Susanna and Mink managed to figure out where Karu is. Apparently she's not in the Chimera world with the remaining Chimera rebels, but in the human world, hidden, while they, try and come up with a plan and bring back some of their members, because they got a lot of souls that they managed to save, and Karu just has to make bodies. This amazing couple managed to find out where Karu is and find her. And I was so worried the second, they got to this little hideout for the Chimera, because it's like, they aren't going to be able to leave. Thiago is probably going to kill them or use them against Karu somehow, because he's an asshole. And, that was pretty predictable. Part of me was really hoping the other Chimera would kinda turn against Thiago, just based on some of the shit that he did. And yeah, there's still all sorts of stuff going on in the Chimera world where Avica, we learn more about him and, his little legion of half-siblings. And I was interested to learn about that, and it made me really hate the Emperor a lot. And I was cheering when Avica killed that son of a bitch. Just like, yeah! And I like how we get a little more of Hazriel. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I kept on reading it as Hazel for some reason. And Liraz. And I won't lie, I was hit really in the feels when Haziel died. He was such a... why must the good people always die? And Liraz's, grief for her brother was just, right in the feels. Right in the feels. Especially when they brought his body back to Karu in hopes that she would be able to, resurrect him. And how she couldn't, I had my hopes peaked up for a minute, yes, she can save him. She can save him. And she can't because his soul is gone, and I'm just like, that's sad. And I'm really, I'm looking forward to seeing how both Avica and Liraz react, more into their grief. But I'm also, dreading it too. Because I'm afraid that Liraz is gonna go totally off the deep end and, get herself killed. Near the end, Avica reveals that, yeah, all these angels are coming into our realm to, use our resources and all that good stuff. And that's gonna spell total disaster in more ways than one. And towards the end, I just want to give Karu such a big hug. It's found out that Thiago is kind of manipulating her as well as the other Chimera. He's telling Karu that, the others will grow, more used to her and civil towards her with time. He's trying to encourage them to be nice to her and all that. When in reality, he's telling the others not to trust her. She can't be trusted. Leave her alone. Don't go near her. And it's just you are an asshole. And he really wants, to kill Karu at the earliest convenience. He wants her to teach Ten, this other Chimera, who's basically his second in command, how to resurrect people so that they can kill her. Because then Karu won't be, very useful if she's no longer the only one who knows how to resurrect. Thankfully, Kaoru was like, nope, I'm the one doing this, and did not teach Ten. Kaoru learns quite a bit about what has happened. Apparently, not all of the Chimera who raised her were killed. Issa, as well as one other, had managed to kind of survive. They had basically given up their lives to have their soul, reaped and put aside in a safe location where they think she'll be able to find them. And each of them has a message from Brimstone. And it's nice to know that she's not totally alone. Her little family hasn't been utterly annihilated. And they did confirm that Brimstone is, dead, which is really sad. Though, like I said, I'm still holding on to that tiny little, near impossible hope. And like I said, I did wish that some of the Chimera would side with Kaoru, especially when she reveals the little news she has. She tries to, rally some of the other Chimera to her side, that Thiago really isn't doing anything but leading them to certain death. He's letting their people be murdered in cold blood. So it's like, Kaoru's not happy with that. A few other Chimera are certainly not happy about that. There's this whole, little squad who totally defied orders and went to go save as many civilian Chimera as they could. Speaking of this Chimera, his name is Ziri, I think it's pronounced, and I just want to give him a hug, because he is such a sweetie, and I just instantly loved Ziri. I just can't explain why I loved his character so much. When Kaoru was trying to get all these Chimera on her side, Thiago is a master manipulator, oh my god. Issa managed to pass on the message that they actually managed to save a lot of Chimera civilians. A lot of them went down into the little crypt where Brimstone resurrected bodies, and they're basically down there in stasis, their souls waiting to be saved and resurrected. Not everyone was saved, because, if the angels broke in and they found a totally empty city, they're gonna dig and dig and dig until they find where the hell all these Chimera went. And then, no one will be saved. So there are thousands of Chimera alive and just waiting to be saved. And, Thiago, he's trying to make it seem like he will save them. He starts to make plans, but it's clear he's not really gonna follow through on them. And there were some Chimera who sided with Kaoru when she's like, no, we should save our people and, not kill angel civilians, because hate breeds more hate and all that fun stuff. She does some really touching speeches, which I will not be able to do justice for, so I'm not even gonna try. So in response, the Chimera that stand with Kaoru get killed that night. Thiago lures them and kills them. And when Kaoru finds out, she is pissed and angry and just so angry. And her and Thiago are left alone exchanging words, and then when Thiago fully reveals his true colors, and he tries to rape her. And I was just like, oh god. I was on edge while reading that because I was so goddamn scared for Kaoru. But Kaoru, being the badass that she is, manages to save herself, though it was a really close call. She manages to kill Thiago, and she is terrified and horrified and just so many emotions. Understandable, given, the situation. And that's when wonderful Ziri comes back in, and it made me want to hug him too, because, oh my god, what he does just blew my mind. It blew my mind. Kaoru knew she would have to bring Thiago back. Otherwise, if she doesn't do it willingly, the other Chimera will try and force her, and all in all, it's not a good, situation for her. And she doesn't want to bring him back because he's an asshole and horrible and evil incarnated. But, Ziri solves this problem for her. He willingly gives up his life, or I guess I should say his body, so that his soul can go into Thiago's body, so that, for all intents and purposes, it looks like Thiago is alive. But it's not Thiago. It's Ziri, who believes and agrees with Karu and wants to help her. So that's fantastic. That is super, super good and makes me super relieved. Like, when I was reading that, it looked like it was Thiago, that she did bring him back. And I'm just like, oh god, no. No, 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 no. And when it's explained that she put Ziri's soul in him, I'm just like, yes! Yes! And she also does something similar to Ten. She has the soul of one of her close friends from her Chimera life, who she puts into Ten's body. So now, you know, she's slowly getting these big players on her side, and they can do a lot of good now and probably make a huge difference. She managed to save the souls of the Chimera who sided with her and will bring them back as soon as she can. And just, I'm excited to see what happens in the third book, because shit is gonna get real. Just, oh my god. The angels are coming in our world. We got some more good Chimera who are now leading this little rebel group. And it's just like, oh my god, this is gonna be awesome. And I so look forward to reading the next book. So yeah, I love this book. There was so much going on, so much action, and I was on the edge of my seat the entire time I was reading. Like I said, you know, I kind of prefer the first one, but this is a very good book and an awesome sequel. So yeah, that's it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time. Keep on reading, my fellow book addicts. Keep on reading.